I've been so excited to film this video. I've been planning it for so long. I even wrote down like 5 pages of notes just to make sure I say everything I want to say and don't end up just sitting here crying over these characters, because that's something I would do. Hello everyone, my name is Tasha and today I'm finally dedicating a video to the Foxhole Court by Nora Sakavic. If you follow me on social media, I'm sure you know all about my obsession with this book series. Not many people know about this series, and so many people have been asking me, what is this series about? Why are you so obsessed with it? A lot of times I struggle with what to say because there are so many things I want to say about this book series. I've just in general wanted to do this video, so this video is gonna be a lot of things. It's gonna be, first off, obviously a summary on what this book is about, and then also maybe reasons why you would like this series or reasons why I love this series. A whole lot of stuff about the Foxhole Court. So the Foxhole Court is the first book in the All for the Game series by Nora Sakavic, but usually in like fandom and things it's referred to as the Foxhole Court. There are 3 books in the series, the first one obviously being the Foxhole Court, the second one the Raven King, and the third one the King's Men. So I first heard about this series on Tumblr. A lot of people started reblogging Foxhole Court things, which got me interested in it. I read the summary. Back then it didn't sound like something I liked, but since the book was free, I downloaded it, and I'm someone who likes to get into a book without knowing too much and just finding out what happens. I don't really recommend doing it with this book if you're easily confused, because that's what happened to me. I started this and for like probably the first half of this book, I had no idea what was going on. There were so many characters introduced. I'm gonna talk about in general what this book is about, and also quickly mention the characters, because when I read this, I saw posts on Tumblr where the characters were summarized, and that really helped me, so I thought I would include that in this video. After the summary, I will get into some trigger warnings for this series, because there are a lot of difficult topics dealt with in this series, so if you're triggered by those kind of things, definitely be aware of those. I will mention those after the summary. If I had to describe this series in 2 words, it would be gay sports. Okay, so in this series, there is this fictional sport called Xe, and it's basically a more extreme version of lacrosse. Some people describe it as a mix between lacrosse and hockey. Xe is just as popular as football or whatever. It's very, very well loved, and there are crazy fans, and college teams play it and all that stuff. And a really great thing about Xe is that it's co-ed. Is that what it's called? So it's played by girls and boys in one team, and the Foxhole Court follows a group of delinquents who play Xe in a college team. The coach of this college team, his name is Coach Wymack. I think that's how you pronounce his name. He only recruits athletes that people wouldn't give another chance, but this Coach Wymack, he gives them 2nd and 3rd and 4th chances. That makes for a very interesting group dynamic, which is what had me confused in the beginning, because these characters who have been, some of them have been through hell, these athletes, they don't like each other. They hate each other, and which is weird because they're in a team and they should work together, but they don't most of the time. So our main character, Neil Jostin, he has been on the run from his crime lord father for most of his life. He doesn't spend a lot of time in one place, and he changes his name and his appearance all the time in hopes of not being found by his father or people that his father has hired. He ends up playing Xe at this one high school he stays at for a while. Neil ends up being discovered by Wymack and one of the players of that college team. Since Neil is on the run, it wouldn't be a good idea to join a college team, but he does for various reasons. Yeah, the story begins with Neil being recruited for the Palmetto Foxes, which is this college Xe team that we follow in the series. They're not a very good team. They're at the bottom of the scoreboard. As I said, the athletes in this team basically all hate each other, so obviously they can't really work well with each other. When Neil joins this team and starts to get to know each athlete, he ends up being the person that brings all of them together. So that's what I wanted to say about the plot. Now I'm gonna get a bit into the characters because there are quite a few, and a lot of them are introduced right at the beginning of the book, which made it really confusing for me. I already talked about Neil Jostin, the main character, and then there is Kevin Day. Kevin Day, he lives and breathes Exy. Exy is his entire life. He grew up playing Exy. He is one of the most famous Exy players and he played for the top team, but then one day he has an accident and breaks his hand, his good hand, and he can't play anymore. And for various reasons, he ends up joining the Palmetto Foxes. Then we have the Minyard twins, Andrew and Aaron. These twins, first off, they're midgets. They're smaller than I am. They're very angry midgets. No, but seriously, even though they're twins, they didn't grow up with each other, which you'll find out in the book throughout the series. Andrew is heavily medicated. It's like a prescription medication that makes him safe around other people. He's a very very interesting character. He cares about nothing. And Aaron basically hates everything and everyone. Then we also have Nicky Hammock. He is half Mexican. He is gay. He is a ray of sunshine. He's also the twins' cousin, and the main reason why he joined the Palmetto Foxes is to be with his cousins. So these four characters that I just mentioned, Kevin, Andrew, Aaron, and Nicky, they make up Andrew's lot, so they're like a kind of group in this team. And then there are the Upperclassmen, who are another group in the team, and these two groups kind of hate each other. The Upperclassmen consists of Matt Boyd, who ends up being one of Neil's roommates. Matt is a literal puppy. He is such a sweetheart, and he is in the team because he had drug problems. Then we have Danielle, or Dan Wild. She is the captain of the Palmetto Foxes, and she used to be a stripper. There is Renee Walker. She is such a sweetheart. She's the nicest person you would ever meet. She has rainbow hair. She's very religious, but obviously she also has her reasons why she is with the Palmetto Foxes, a group of delinquents. We also have Ellison Reynold. She's very rich, very beautiful, and she chose Exy over her parents' money. Allison is amazing. And the last athlete in this group is Seth Gordon. I think he also had a drug problem. He ends up being another one of Neil's roommates. So those were the Foxes. I hope what I said about them was enough so you have an idea about them. I literally love every character in the series. Just, they're all so amazing. As I said, there are a lot of triggering things in this series, so I will get into trigger warnings now. So some trigger warnings for this series. There is a lot of violence, sometimes quite graphic. There is abuse. I think it was just mentions of self-harm. In the second book, The Raven King, a character is raped. I didn't feel like it was very explicit, but you definitely have to be aware of that if you are triggered by that topic. There's definitely mentions of death and suicide. There is a lot of alcohol and drug use, or probably almost like abuse of alcohol and drugs. A lot of talk about mental health. It deals with a lot of dark topics. I know that there is a complete list of every single thing that could be triggering. I will try to find that and link it down below. So now I'm gonna get into some things that I really liked about the series and why you might end up liking this. I just got into the trigger warnings of the series, and even though these books deal with a lot of dark topics, it also deals with some other topics and deals with them so amazingly. For example, consent. Oh my god, the consent between some characters in this book. Ever since finishing this series, I cannot read about any other characters being intimate in any way and not think about the consent of these characters, because oh my god, And these books also touch on subjects like family and trust, giving second chances. I think the main reason why I ended up loving this series so much is because it's very character driven. I just love every single character. Even the characters that aren't necessarily likable, I still love so much. The character development in this series is amazing, especially of the main character, Neil. Neil, my baby. When I talked about the characters, I already mentioned that Nicky is gay, but apart from him, this series features another gay relationship. It's very, very, very slow burn, but that makes it so much more beautiful and amazing. Something else I feel like I should mention, because obviously these characters are playing this sport, XC. I am definitely not a sports person. There's not a single sport that I am interested in that I will probably ever be interested in, except maybe XC. But despite that, I still enjoyed even the sports parts, like following the games and how they did in their games. I still enjoy that even though I don't like sports. Don't be put off by that. And lastly, what might convince you to pick this up, if you like the Raven Boys or the Raven Cycle, the entire series, you also might like this series, because I think the main reason is because both books or both series are very character driven. Yeah, so if you enjoy the Raven Cycle by Maggie Stiefvater, you might also enjoy this beautiful series. I'm almost finished. This series was published through Amazon. It's a self-published series. You might be able to get it on other ebook providers like Kobo and that stuff, but I'm not sure. I'm definitely sure you can get it on Amazon and on most, if not all, Amazon domains. The first book, The Foxhole Court, is free to download as an ebook. The second and third book, The Raven King and The King's Men, the ebooks are 99p or cents. To read these as ebooks is really cheap. It's under £2, dollar, whatever. That was a lot. I hope I mentioned everything I wanted to mention. Obviously, if you want to talk more about the Foxhole Court, please feel free to message me. Don't hesitate to message me with questions or fangirling or anything. I encourage you to message me about this series. So tell me down below if, first of all, if you watched this entire video, if you're interested in reading the series, have you read the series, what were your thoughts on it? Tell me everything relating this series down below. I would love to know, and I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Thank you so much for watching, and that was it for this video, and I will see you next time. Bye!